We are back with Julie Fei-Fan Balzer and embossed metal embellishments for the scrapbook page.
Yes, so easy, so fun.
Okay.
So
and you've even involved a sewing machine.
Yes, it's true. This metal is very thin. You can see here I have a very thin sheet of aluminum, and I'm working on this nice foam pad, and I have a little acrylic, I don't know if you call it a mold or a template or something like that. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my metal sheet, I'm going to put it over the template, I'm going to take this big paper stump, and I'm just going to rub. I am not using a lot of pressure. I am not taping this down. You could, but I'm kind of a lazy scrapper, I have to say. And so then now you can see that leaf pattern is coming up. And if I want to increase that, I just take this tip right here. You see that white tip? And I am going to just simply following the lines. I'm not doing anything. If I go out, it doesn't matter. I'm simply rubbing and catching that template that's underneath here.
So this basically gave you the shape, and this is defining it more.
Exactly. That's a great way of putting it.
It's truly embossing.
Yes, and so easy. So once I have this and I'm totally satisfied with the way that it looks, and I would take a little bit of time to do that, I'm going to just pick it up and remove the template, and then I'm going to flip it over. And if I also flip this tool over, as opposed to the white end, you can see at that other end, I have a little spiky wheel.
Okay, not too sharp, but
not
it is
too
spiky,
sharp, but it's a little spiky. And what that's going to do now when I put it on the metal is it's going to create a really cool pattern.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, and it's nice because the wheel allows you to go really close to your shape. You can go all around like that.
And it's small enough that you can get into crevices.
And the thing that I like too is you can go over where you've been and it doesn't ruin it in any way.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't
then,
cut through.
Exactly. And then when we flip it over, can you see that texture that's on there?
Oh, yeah.
So cool, right?
That is.
So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a permanent marker.
Does it matter which side you work on?
It doesn't. And you can see right here that one tip is fat and one tip is thin, so you can do detail work or something wider than that. Doesn't matter. And I'm simply going to go over the area that I embossed just casually. I might mix a couple colors that I think would look good together.
And this is an opaque marker.
It is an opaque marker. It also uses pigment ink, which is why it'll write on a slick surface. Something I learned today is that pigment molecules are larger than dye molecules.
Very good to know.
And that's why they sit on the surface. Okay, so once I've got some colors on here and I'm happy with it, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some watercolor paints.
And these come in tubes.
Yes, okay. I love tube watercolors as opposed to the common cake watercolors that you might see elsewhere. And all you do is you simply take the tube and you open it, and you need to have a plastic palette or something like that, and you squirt out a bit of paint. The nice thing about this is even after these dry and they're hard, you can reactivate them with just a little bit of water, so it's very economical. Then I'm going to take my water brush, and I've already filled this side of it, and I'm going to take the cork out, and I'm simply going to screw on the cap. I'm going to remove the tip, and then if I squeeze this brush, that'll just let some water come straight through, and now I have my watercolor. And now I'm going to scrub this color in there. I can just add some water like that over the top. I can go into a second color without cleaning my brush.
The marker, the opaque marker underneath is not moving. It's not bleeding.
No, it's not moving at all, and that's really important. And then when you're done, you'll see that I have all these pools of color, and I can just, sometimes I like to play and let it go into the crevices. One of the really nice things is the watercolor will get down into all the nooks and crannies, as opposed to the markers, which will tend to stay on the top surfaces. So you get that 2 layers of color.
Okay. Now, this is going to take a little while to dry.
It is.
You could use your heat tool to dry it if you wanted, but let's go back to our original here. And look at those samples, and you sew those on, those squares and rectangles.
Yes, just with a regular sewing machine.
It's so lovely. Again, it goes so nicely with your photos, but it could go with a lot of different pages. And you can also use punches, and you punched out little flowers for that. Those
exactly. It's a very nice thin metal and doesn't hurt your punches at all.
And we're showing some other samples, including a butterfly. Nice job, Julie. Great.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.